Kylie Jenner has always occupied an outsized place in the cultural conversation, long before she ever became the cover star of Vanity Fair. As a figure who first entered the public eye as a child on a reality television show and then went on to build one of the most influential beauty empires in modern history, she embodies the interplay between celebrity, business acumen, and fashion risk-taking that defines generations of global icons. In her latest high-fashion moment, this intersection of fame, style, and personal narrative comes into sharp focus, with Jenner delivering one of the most memorable and talked-about magazine appearances of the year. For the spring issue of Vanity Fair, Jenner stepped into a photo shoot that was at once audacious, meticulously styled, and deeply symbolic. Shot by renowned fashion photographer Mert Alas, himself a figure synonymous with visually compelling celebrity imagery, the shoot presents Jenner in a series of striking ensembles. Among the most talked about of these is an image in which she appears virtually unclothed, save for a gigantic Chanel bow turned into a cape-like garment. In that single frame, she encapsulates the tension between fashion as art and fashion as spectacle, a tension that has defined her public persona for years. This cover-worthy image, which sparked immediate chatter the moment it was published, is emblematic of how Jenner engages with the visual language of fashion to make statements that ripple far beyond the images themselves. The oversized bow, technically a stylized cape with a Chanel brooch, evokes ideas of gift-giving, ornamentation, and classic haute couture. It merges the playful with the provocative, drawing on couture's history of transforming ordinary motifs into extraordinary expressions. In doing so, Jenner becomes a walking paradox, both the icon of commercial fashion and the catalyst for conversations about vulnerability, exposure, and self-presentation. But this Vanity Fair cover is far from the only photograph that defines this striking spread. Elsewhere in the shoot, Jenner is seen lounging on opulent bedding draped in a ruffled Saint Laurent gown, a look that juxtaposes softness and structure. In other frames she dons a scalloped miu-miu bra paired with tailored riding breeches, an outfit that channels equestrian chic while grounding the fantasy of fashion in tactile reality. Each photograph feels meticulously chosen to represent different facets of her persona: the polished business mogul, the daring fashion risk-taker, and the woman comfortable in both repose and performance. Through these images runs a subtle yet persistent thread: the idea that Jenner's evolution is ongoing, unfixed, and constantly reinventing itself. In one photograph, she channels a modern, almost surreal elegance with sheer hosiery and delicate accessories, blending elements of classic glamour with contemporary boldness. In another, she appears relaxed and introspective, reclining in soft fabrics that suggest a private side of celebrity rarely seen in public. Across this visual narrative, there is a sense that the meteoric arc of her life, from youngster on television to seasoned entrepreneur, is no longer just about spectacle but about legacy. Interspersed with the fashion is a candid interview that reveals what lies behind the images. A woman who has thought deeply about her journey and what it has taken to arrive here. Jenner, now 28, has built a business empire that is as financially formidable as it is culturally resonant. In the Vanity Fair conversation, she traces that trajectory back to the beginning, recalling with striking honesty how her entry into the beauty industry required more than a little personal sacrifice. She invested a significant portion of her savings, roughly half of her nest egg, around $250,000, to launch her company, Kylie Cosmetics. That decision, born out of ambition and belief in her vision, reflects a seriousness about her craft that belies her youth and early beginnings on television. It's not merely the success of her brand that defines Jenner's reinvention, but the strategic way she has cultivated it. Where many celebrities have lent their names to products, Jenner made a virtue of involvement. She engaged with the product development process, shaped marketing narratives, and used her massive social media platform to build an entire ecosystem around her brand. Social platforms became more than promotional tools. They became the centerpiece of how she communicates with her audience, shaping not only consumer habits but cultural trends. In an era where attention is currency, Jenner mastered the economy of visibility in ways few others have. Yet even as a powerhouse in beauty and business, Jenner's horizons appear to be expanding. The Vanity Fair interview touches on her recent foray into acting, a bold pivot that signals a new chapter. She has a cameo in an A24 mockumentary, The Moment, created by Charlie XCX. What began as a somewhat whimsical choice, Jenner herself said she pitched the idea as a joke, has sparked serious interest in pursuing more acting opportunities. In discussions surrounding the film, she speaks with palpable curiosity about expanding her creative repertoire and exploring storytelling in a new medium. This evolution marks a deliberate step into an arena that values narrative performance as much as visual brand power. This evolving narrative mirrors a broader shift in how celebrity culture operates in the modern age. The archetype of the celebrity as simply a performer or reality TV personality has for years been replaced by that of a multifaceted brand, with ventures that span industries, mediums, and markets. Jenner's ability to pivot into acting while maintaining dominance in beauty and fashion demonstrates a mastery of diversification that even seasoned Hollywood stars find difficult to achieve. She does not merely chase opportunities, she creates them, often on her terms. In the interview, Jenner also touches on her personal life in ways that reflect her current priorities. She shares that while she is committed to her entrepreneurial and creative ambitions, family and motherhood remain central to her identity. Already a mother to 2 children, she expresses a desire to focus on her family and even hopes to have more children in the years to come. This is a side of her public persona that has become more visible in recent years, one that balances career ambition with domestic life. It's a balancing act familiar to many, but in Jenner's case it unfolds against the backdrop of global media attention, magnifying both the challenges and the triumphs. Her relationship with actor Timothée Chalamet also features prominently in the wider conversation about her present life chapter. The couple's visibility on the awards circuit, at events like the Critics' Choice Awards, the BAFTAs, and potentially the Oscars, has been a recurring topic in fashion and entertainment coverage. While she may sometimes shy away from discussing the personal details publicly, the affection and interconnectedness between their careers is palpable. It is a relationship that, aside from its media fascination, underlines how celebrity partnerships today often serve as dynamic, collaborative intersections of personal and professional worlds. This Vanity Fair moment, then, is not an isolated snapshot, but a reflection of the broader arc of Jenner's life, one shaped by strategic risk-taking, fearless visual storytelling, and an ongoing cultivation of self. It signals her arrival at a point where she is not defined solely by her past, but by an expanding palette of future possibilities. The choice to appear in such a bold, fashion-forward narrative underscores her comfort with both vulnerability and provocation, and with the idea that art can be simultaneously deeply personal and publicly transformative. The cultural response to her Vanity Fair appearance has been as varied as her career itself. Some praise the aesthetic daring and conceptual depth of the images, seeing them as a natural extension of her role as a fashion provocateur. Others frame the shoot through conversations about celebrity exposure, body politics, and the ongoing evolution of what fashion imagery can signify in the 21st century. These discussions in turn reveal how influential figures like Jenner act as catalysts for broader dialogues, not just about clothing or physicality, but about identity, agency, and the visual language of contemporary culture. In many ways, Jenner's Vanity Fair cover is a culmination of her unique place in the tapestry of modern celebrity, where commerce, media, fashion, and personal narrative intertwine. It reflects a new era in which celebrity influence is measured not just in followers or endorsements, but in cultural footprint and narrative control. She is unequivocally her own brand, and one that continues to evolve in surprising directions. As the cultural conversation around her latest appearance continues, one thing is clear: Kylie Jenner's journey is far from static. From her earliest days as part of a globally watched family to her current role as a business leader, fashion influencer, and emerging creative presence, she has continually redefined what it means to be a modern public figure. With every bold choice, from the fashion she wears to the stories she chooses to tell, she invites us to reconsider not just who she is, but what celebrity itself can be.